Just when we thought the biscuit tin was empty, Stephen A. Smith pulled the jam tarts back in. Way, Lauren Shankland's that the best flavoured jam tart they could get?
I would say it's a pretty tasty one for me. Definitely not apricot. This is more of a blackcurrant, one of the ones that you open the packet and you just go straight for it. That is what Lauren Shankland is. You look at the Hearts team and he is the player that your eyes just lock onto and you go, this is the man, this is the guy that is going to take us to glory, aka third place. And it makes no surprise to me. It makes no sense to me.
Listen here, right? If Michael Smith is the Rolls Royce, is he the Mr. Kipling of jam tarts?
He might be, aye.
Right, so I've just saved you there, so I'm going to tag myself back in again. And according to the Edinburgh Evening News, it broke last night on Football Insider, apparently Rangers are back in for Shankland. But according to the Edinburgh News, Hearts have opened contract talks with top goal scorer Lauren Shankland as they try to prolong his time at Tynecastle Park. Club officials began discussions over extending his deal, which is due to expire in the summer of 2025 in the midst of another prolific season in front of goal. End of quote for now. Rangers, what are they doing? Are they sitting there keeping their hands warm in the cold month of January, or are they going to put a bid in? Because if he signs a long-term contract...
That's Rangers' chances of signing them, Hump.
Aye, it is.
It's done. It's finished. It makes sense that Hearts are offering Shankland a contract because if he doesn't go in this window, which I think there's a good chance he won't, I think that the big moves tend to happen in the summer. And if you wait to the summer, then you've got 1 year left and you just can't really get that much money for a player with 1 year left on their contract. So I think it makes perfect sense for Hearts here. Even if they can just add an additional year on, I think if they do that, by the time you get to the end of the season, the difference between Lauren Shankland having 2 years left and 1 year, in my opinion, we're talking that's millions. So I think it makes sense for Hearts to... I don't think simply keeping him to the end of the season's enough. I think they need to get him to sign a further extension on his contract. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if we kept him to the end of the season, I'd be happy, but it's not enough. If you want to profit, if you want to do good business, Hearts need to do more than just prevent him from leaving. They need to do more than just lock him in the basement until the 1st of February. They actually need to get him to sign a contract and commit his future to Hearts for at least another year. I mean, preferably, what would be great if he could get like a 2 year contract extension. 3 years would be fantastic. Don't think that's going to happen. I would probably settle for 1, but 2 years would be amazing. And then that gives you, 3 years left come summertime. And then you can really demand, huge amounts of money. But if Lauren Shankland knows there's big clubs swimming around, if the Sharks are looking for blood, and Lauren Shankland is bleeding blood like he's leaking goals, and it's not...
Should have gone to Specsavers, Jeff. But I tell you what, right, so with 18 months left, Hearts want, 4 million. If he signs a contract, does that double his fee? Or near enough, like 7.5?
Aye, well, you'd have to assume so. I mean, extra year that's in there, and aye.
Aye, so if you look... he's played 75 games for Hearts, right? And he scored a total of 46 goals.
I mean, you can't really argue with that statistic.
Of course, last season it was 20 goals, more than 20 goals in the campaign for Hearts player since John Robertson. When was the last time a Rangers had a striker up front that got that many goals? And I don't want to hear about Tony 2 goals, because he's away in his flip-flops in Serie B like Tony Soprano.
Which, of course, I'm sure CG Novel's watching every single game, because that's what he does.
That's what I do!
Yeah, you talk Serie B, fucking Korean League 2, you name it, those guys are watching it.
I'm not going to lie, right? See Cholak, I think he was underutilised at Rangers, and he certainly could have been used, but let's not pretend to ourselves that he's fucking the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Decent goal scorer, but overall as a player he was limited. I said that I thought Bojan... I said like 1 month into the season I believed that Bojan Miovski was better than Cholak, and I got laughed at for that. Simply because Bojan Miovski plays for Aberdeen and Cholak played for Rangers. That wasn't me dissing Cholak. I just said out of the two players, I thought that they were both scoring goals, and I just thought that Miovski offered a wee bit more overall.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion, but... let's talk about the...
Would you say I'm wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
If you could have one player right now join Rangers, who would it be, Miovski or Cholak?
Miovski.
Well, there you go, so I was right.
The simple reason is...
I also said
what Cholak's done, and even though, he can kind of say proven himself, but I think Miovski would just be the better option.
I also said at the start of the season that Lauren Shankland would get 20 goals for Hearts, and he went on to do that, so...
And he did, well and truly. And you said off camera that Lauren Shankland must be given the biggest contract ever. What would that suggest of?
I think we've got to be breaking the bank here. I would be giving him probably about 15 grand a week, 20 grand a week.
How much is the highest at Hearts ever? Is it Craig Gordon now?
I'm assuming it's about 12 grand. I don't have the figures, but I'm assuming, I would have to assume at least 10 has been hit, maybe 12. I think for a player of Shankland's quality and what he can deliver and just the success and the fact that he can single-handedly get you European football and even shirt sales and things like that, you got to factor in. You're going to make money through Shankland shirt sales. If Hearts are scoring goals and winning games, more people are going to turn up to Tynecastle. Hell, I might even turn up. So you've got to factor all that stuff in. And for me, like, it's worth the money, right? Sometimes you've got to spend some money to accumulate some money. And that's how I see Lawrence Shankland, right? Yeah, you might have to spend a bit of money, offer him a bumper contract deal, but you're going to recoup the interest later in life. So, aye, that's it for me. I mean,
that's it from him. Rangers got to act now, right? I mean, we see new contracts get done pretty easily, but the thing is, if Shankland wants to go to Rangers, then he could just simply reject the contract. But if Rangers show no sign of intent, Shankland's just going to think, well, they don't want me, I'll just stay at Hearts.
The way I see it, if Rangers really wanted Shankland right now, they would have paid the money for him. Now, they mustn't think that he's worth the kind of money that Hearts are wanting. If Hearts give Shankland a contract and he signs it and he accepts it, that means that Rangers cannot get him in January. They would have to wait until the summer, and then whatever Hearts want it right now is going to be a hell of a lot more in the summer. And if Rangers weren't prepared to pay the amount in January, they're not going to pay it, in my opinion, in the summer when it's doubled or whatever, when it's been up due to the contract. So I think that unless Rangers sign Shankland now, they won't sign him at all. I think this is it. I don't think there will be.
It's a go for Joe. It's a go for Shanks. And
I think the only way it would happen would be if Rangers don't sign him now and he doesn't sign a new contract with Hearts, and then he gets to the summer and there's 1 year left, then that's possibly what could happen.
There's more days that go on. I just don't think it's happening. I was so confident of this deal, but Rangers have shown nothing. The links have literally existed from the summer, from like the end of last season to now, and Rangers have shown no intent. I mean, at least Van Fiend's come out, and maybe he's lying, maybe he's not. He said he rejected Rangers. Where is the mention of any formal interest from Rangers? There's nothing. There's nothing to be seen.
Nada.
So until next time, peace.